Change is good. Change is scary, but it's good. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Homebody Chronicles. It's been a while. How have y'all been? I hope you've been well. And I hope you're not mad at me. But I'm back. I'm back. This is just me saying hey again, and that I have not forgotten about y'all and our conversations on our chill hangouts. A lot has changed for me and my life, a lot of unexpected change. And change is good. Change is scary, but it's good. I've been very optimistic, and I'm very, very excited to see whatever God has in store for me, and what He has in store for the podcast. So let's rewind a little bit and just go back to why I took a break in the first place, and then we'll get into what I am planning / hoping for moving forward. So to rewind a little bit, when I had taken a break, I won't say I was overwhelmed, but I was definitely getting into a creative block, and I wanted to kind of come back with a fresh, outlook and just like fresh ideas. And it just so happened that within that time, like a lot of things just changed for me, and I've had to kind of reroute certain things and certain plans. I know I'm talking around the way, but this, like I've said in the beginning, this podcast isn't necessarily about me. So I'm not going to sit and just, give out my personal information. But like I said, I took a break to kind of get fresh eyes, get fresh ideas, which I did. I have a lot of fun episode ideas in mind, and I have a couple people that I'd like to get on here. But during that time is when, the unexpected, came and hit me in the face. Yeah, I guess that's why it's unexpected. But anyways, that said, I am different, and you're probably like, girl, it's been like a month, or by the time you hear this, it'll be more than a month. But because of what has transpired in my life, a lot of me is different. I'm definitely in a place where I have no choice but to trust God. Like, obviously, as a Christian, the basis of my faith is trusting God, but a lot of times God will rip out your support systems in order for you to do that wholly and fully. And I'm not only saying that based on the things that have happened, but also based on just certain ideas I've had for what I want for the future, certain things that I've prayed about, certain things that I believe God has told me. So, yeah, we'll see where life goes. But to continue on in terms of what I see moving forward for the podcast, again, still working on video. A lot of you have been asking me for video. And when I say working on it, I mean, I'm trying to make the decision of whether or not how I want to film, like my filming setup, basically. So, if you didn't know already, I'm a perfectionist, and as much as I have discovered that perfectionism is not the greatest quality, I will say that a part of it is attention to detail and just being overall detail oriented and just wanting to put my best foot forward. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. And because of that, I will be taking my time and taking the time I need to just be happy with whatever filming setup I come up with. And that means visually, the camera I use, just, the overall visuals of what everything will look like. So that's something that I'm still thinking about and working on and trying to figure out. I promise you there will be a day when I'll come back and I won't say that I'm still trying to figure it out, because I know I keep saying that, and it is true. I really am trying to figure it out, but it's a process, and I want to get the process, done well. But what has been going on with me lately? Um, I've been trying to work on, in terms of like my personal life, I've been trying to work on um, being less. How do I say this? Oh, not my computer dying. Uno momento. Yeah, as I was saying, I've been trying to work on being less apologetic. And what I mean by that is, I think naturally I'm a very, I don't want to say blunt. I guess I am. I can be blunt. I think because of that, I kind of pull back a lot, and like I'm very, 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 very hyper aware and very conscious of how I say things and how I come across to people. But I feel like in doing that, I've kind of lost a little bit of my um, just authenticity. I find myself holding back a lot in like conversations and just how I approach people, which in a way is good. I think it's helped me a lot with self control. But then at the same time, it's like, if you can't handle what I'm saying to you through the lens of me and my temperament and my being, then maybe you're just not for me. Um, Now, I'm saying all that to say I'm not here to be rude and mean, but um, I can't be anything but myself, and myself is myself. I've grown and I've matured, and I think I am emotionally intelligent. So, like I said, I'm not out here saying that I'm going to be more mean, but I'm just going to be myself, and myself is pretty straight to the point, straightforward, and um, for a long time I felt like I was kind of censoring and like pulling back and like worried like, oh, I hope she doesn't think this or I hope he doesn't think that, but like forget all that. No, that's a bit dramatic. Not forget all that, but like I just want to be back to myself. And some of you listening are probably like, girl, what in the world are you talking about? And it's because I've been able to realize that I was doing this because I was clocking the difference between how I would talk like with my friends and family versus like how I would talk outside of my circle. And I don't want to do that anymore. It's tiring. Like it's really tiring to like constantly be holding back a piece of yourself. Especially if that piece of yourself is like what people interact with on a day to day. So no more Mr. Nice Girl, or not Mr. Miss Nice Girl. Um, I think being nice, quote unquote, is overrated. I think being kind is important, and being a genuine, like, soul is important. But, like, being nice for the sake of just not offending other people is tiring. It's just tiring. So, that's one thing. Another update for me is, like I just said, like, I I'm in a new era, and I'm calling this era uh like, I don't want to say Abraham era, because I'm not also trying to call battles on myself that God doesn't necessarily need me to battle. But I don't know, like, you know how Abraham was like in his homeland, and then God was like, you gotta leave. I'm not gonna tell you why, I'm not gonna tell you to where, you just gotta leave. And like Abraham was like, all right, bet, let's go. And like people were asking him, like, Abraham, where are you going? I don't know. Why are you going there? I don't know. But he was going, and yeah, that's the era that I'm describing right now. So we'll see where that takes me. Um, yeah. Another update. I there are some other podcast platforms that I'm trying to break into, some that are a little bit less, based on what I asked people, some that are a little bit less used, but I think having my podcast on there is just going to be good for growing the overall Homebody Chronicles audience, family, whatever you want to call us. So, for example, I think Amazon has a podcast platform or app, and then there's a couple others that I'm still looking into. So that's going to be a new thing coming. We're going to be expanding and growing. Yeah. So I guess this episode is going to be short and sweet. It's just me saying, hey, I'm back. I think I'll leave this here. I hope you guys are excited. I hope I haven't disappointed too many of you. But we're back and hopefully better. Yeah, stay tuned for the next episode. And I'm so happy to be back. If you're listening on Spotify, don't forget to leave a comment and rate us a 5 or else. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, share, do all the things. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, don't forget to rate us a 5. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.